Imagine standing face to face with a person who represented the darkest time in your life. A person who tortured you and countless others. The person responsible for your sister's death. Imagine them standing in front of you and asking for your forgiveness. What would you do? How would you respond? Well, that's the exact situation Corrie ten Boom found herself in. Cornelia Arnolda Johanna ten Boom, known as Corrie, was born on April 15, 1892, in North Holland. She was the youngest of four and grew up in a devout Christian home. The ten Boom family home was a revolving door to those in the community. They served the Jews that lived there in the community, the disabled, the hungry, and orphans. Their home was a refuge. On May 10, 1940, everything changed for the ten Boom family. German forces had invaded the Netherlands. In just 5 days, the Germans gained occupation, and within a few months, all of the Netherlands, to include the province of North Holland, was under Nazi control. The ten Boom family were part of the underground Nazi resistance and became a refuge for Jews fleeing Nazi oppression. The ten Booms built a fake wall in Corrie's bedroom that can hide 6 to 8 adults at a time. Now, this hiding place was used when the Nazis searched their home. Over the course of 4 years, the ten Boom family saved the lives of over 800 Jews from the Holocaust. But on February 28, 1944, the Gestapo, the German secret police, raided the ten Boom home and arrested the entire family. By the grace of God, the Jews hiding there were never found. And shortly after their arrest, Corrie's brother Willem, her sister Noli, and nephew Peter were released. But Corrie's father, who was 84 at the time, died in just 10 days in prison. Corrie and her sister Betsy, however, were sent to View political camp, then transferred to Ravensbrück concentration camp in Germany. Now, Ravensbrück was the largest concentration camp for women. It was designed for about 6,000 inmates, but had as many as 36,000 at any given time. Between 1938 and 1945, it was estimated that 50,000 inmates died in Ravensbrück. The conditions were horrific for Corrie and Betsy. Disease ran rampant, they were overworked, malnourished, and in despair. But under these conditions, Corrie and Betsy experienced God's favor and witnessed miracle after miracle in the face of misery. When she was in processing at the concentration camp, the guards miraculously missed the New Testament she was carrying. Corrie and Betsy began holding worship services after roll call. Now, what started as a small group of timid women grew into a bold crowd. Yet they were miraculously never caught. One may wonder how the cruel guards allowed these services to take place. Well, the particular barracks that housed Corrie and Betsy was infested with fleas, and I guess the German guards' disdain for fleas was stronger than the disdain for the inmates. Even though Corrie found God in the midst of misery, it didn't stop the misery from taking place. The screams from starvation and mistreatment were deafening at times. On December 16, 1944, she witnessed her sister Betsy breathe her last. She died of starvation and pernicious anemia. Before she passed, she told her sister, "We must tell them what we have learned here. We must tell them that there is no pit so deep that Christ's love is not deeper still. They will listen to us, Corrie, because we have been here." On December 28th, Corrie witnessed another miracle. Due to an administrative error, she was released from the concentration camp. After her release, she went back to the Netherlands, where she opened a rehab center for Holocaust and concentration camp survivors. She also started to travel and share the message of God's love and the power of forgiveness, a message that was put to the test in 1947. After speaking in a church in Munich, Germany, there was a person in the crowd that looked eerily familiar. The person started walking toward her. Then she recalled this was one of the guards in Ravensbrück. Well, face to face with her captor, he extended his hand and said, "I have become a Christian. I know that God has forgiven me for the cruel things I did there, but I would like to hear from your lips. Will you forgive me?" Well, Corrie wrestled with her thoughts. Could she really forgive him? Well, after what seemed to be hours, she raised her hand toward him and said, "I forgive you." Because she remembered Matthew 6:14, "For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you." Corrie ten Boom realized that forgiveness is a choice, an act of the will before it is a feeling. Well, before her death in 1983, she wrote books recounting her experience, traveled to 67 countries, and spoke to thousands of people sharing the power of the love of God and the power of forgiveness. So how does this relate to Every? For Corrie ten Boom, the worst experience of her life became the platform to reach Every. Obedience and forgiveness opened the door to reach her Every. Is it possible that God could use your story as a platform to reach the Every He has for you?